Hi there. XCN Onyxcoin is down by about 7% this week. However, it's finding support at the blue tier level. Let's dive into the chart and see what actually is happening and whether there are any whales moved. If you're new to my session, I'll cover the Wyckoff stage, potential price trend change, as well as key price levels. This is educational content only, not financial advice. The weekly chart of XCN is showing us that for the past 3 weeks, it has been challenging the blue tier level of 0.0051. And all 3 weeks, well, this week's candle still has around 30 hours left. Assuming it stays at the current level, it's the third consecutive week that is finding support above the blue tier level. All right, and if we look at the volume, it has been continuously declining, meaning both bulls and the bears are slightly releasing their strength on the gas pedal. Okay, it's not going to either side because the bears want to strike the price down back to test the light blue tier level of 0.004, but the bulls successfully defended it. You see these wicks from the bottom pushing the price up. All right, but the bulls seems to be not as strong as before as well, because you see these wicks from the top, meaning they were able to push the price closer to the purple key level, the current key resistant level of 0.0063 in the last 2 weeks. But this week, they weren't able to get past or get close to that line anymore. So is an interesting situation we're seeing. In terms of Wyckoff, it's still in the early stepping into the mid stage of the accumulation cycle. Is basically a testing period of paper hands and diamond hands. The whales would continue to do these kind of sideways trading to check out any paper hands that have gotten during the early stage when the price dropped. Okay, people bought the dip, and however, they may not be the one that's going to stay for long. Like once the price go up, they may take profit, and then if the whales check it down a little, they will exit again, either voluntarily, or they have set a stop loss that doesn't survive those kind of shakeout. All right, that's the big picture. We're still waiting to see the sign of strength. That's the confirmation we need, meaning sustained price climb with average higher than average trading volume. That's the confirmation, but that doesn't mean it's going to go straight to the next accumulation, next distribution, or next peak. All right, sometimes it will retrace, or even retrace very deep back to the accumulation low before the whales starting to push it upwards. All right, so that's, you can see the example over here. Sustained volume, sustained price climb. Let me move it a little bit to the left. So that's what I was talking about. Okay, sustained high volume, higher than average, and sustained price climb, challenging the previous trading range top, but then it retraced before it goes back to the next distribution. So what does it look like in terms of the micro view for XCN? We talked about somewhere near the 15th, we'll get an opportunity to confirm whether the downtrend that started back in the beginning of January is going to finish. And indeed, we get the confirmation right on the Valentine's Day, right before the 15th. The subsequent days continue to stay mostly above the blue tier level of 0.0051. And that's, we can consider the confirmation is pretty solid. Compared to immediately after a day or two, it drops back to the channel. Currently, it looks quite positive in terms of confirming the downtrend is over. And if we look at the volume, it isn't very high as well. Okay, whenever the price comes to below the blue key level, there's pretty good support. At least the price is trying to stabilize around this blue key level. And that's very important if it is setting a near-term bottom around this place to trade between the blue key level and the purple key level, at least some sideways movement, instead of reinitiating another downtrend. Sometimes it can happen that way. If bad news come out, even if it stabilizes and find a near-term support, those news can drive it to start a new downtrend. Right? But at current level, we obviously don't want to see something like 2002, 2003 happen again. Okay, for the case of XCN, it actually lasted till the end of 2024. So if you're interested to access these sessions 2 days earlier than the others, join the channel membership now. Here's another analysis for you. Thank you.